So I've cleared off the counter a bit. I've got the bowl of meat here, the wrappers on a plate. I've taken them out of the package, broken them up a little bit. Now, instead of working wrapper by wrapper, and I think I will zoom on this, just if you'll bear with me for a minute. The wrappers come stuck together. They have a little bit of cornstarch in between them, but not a whole lot. So that is one wrapper. Now you don't want to be doing these one wrapper at a time, but you also don't want to peel off too many because when they get dry they get brittle. They will still stay quite humid when they're in their own stock. So what I do here, as you can see, is I'll break off a few. And start filling from there. If your wrapper feels really thick, you have two wrappers. Okay? So, to fill these, you get a spoon of filling like that, approximately. This takes a bit of practice. Put the wrapper over your cupped thumb and forefinger, push it in, and remove it. And use the back of the spoon to settle it down. You can squeeze it a little. You can even, if you want to really fill them up, you can add a bit more, a little pat, and sit it down on the tray. So I'll make a few more so you get the feel for it, and once you understand how to make these, I'll repeat a few dozen times. How full you want them is a personal preference. The smaller you make them, the faster they'll cook, and also the more wrappers you get. After I've made a whole bunch, I'm going to spark up the steamer and I'll show you how to cook these. See you back in a while. Alright, so the first tray is done, and I've got the second tray lined up. I'm going to put that in the freezer in a minute. So after you've made your first tray, that first technique I showed you will always work, okay? But after you've made a tray or two and you start to feel more confident, there is a different technique that works quite well. It goes pretty quick, so I think I might have to slow the camera down after. So you just put the wrapper on your hand, pick up your filling, slap it, pick it up, and squeeze. Because frankly, if you're going to be making 6 or 8 trays of these things, it looks really nice to do that the first time, but you don't want to be doing that all day. But until you get accomplished at this, the easiest way to do it is always the best, the way that's going to work. But after you've tried this for a bit, you'll see that this is a lot quicker. The second tray is done. I've greased up a plate and I've put a few on here because I want to show you how to cook them. I just checked the ones in the freezer. They're not quite frozen up yet enough to bag. Probably by the time these ones are done, they will be. So in the meantime, I'm going to put the filling back in the fridge, and if you don't work quickly or if you get interrupted like now, what you should always do is get a damp paper towel and cover your wrappers with them while you're not working on them to make sure that they don't dry out and start cracking. I got my steamer pot at full boil here. Now if you don't have a steamer, if you've got a spaghetti pot that has an insert, that's fine. Anything, if you've got a wok with a bamboo steamer, that's good. I like the stainless steel. So first is get your steamer tray, put your plate in, take the lid off, always away from you, you don't want to burn your face. Put the tray, insert the tray. All good steamers have an extremely tight fit. Put the lid back on. You'll notice in a second or two when this heats back up, there's a little vent here. This is the only place the steam will come out. I still put about this much water in the bottom of the pot to make sure it never boils dry. Now, these are fresh, so they will cook a lot quicker. I'm going to cook these for approximately 10 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes, 10 minutes just to be sure. If they're coming out of the freezer, 15 minutes at full boil is a good rule of thumb. Time's up. Let's take a look. Oh yeah. So, there we have it. Pork siu mai. Once again, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again next time.